Embrace the power of critical thinking and flexibility. Unlocking the potential within every challenge requires more than just surface-level understanding. It demands a deep dive into the very heart of the matter. Critical thinking and cognitive flexibility are your compasses in this journey, guiding you through the maze of complexity towards clarity and insight. Picture yourself as the master of context, effortlessly peeling away the layers to reveal the core of the problem. With a keen eye, you decipher underlying assumptions and sift through the clutter of arguments and evidence, distinguishing facts from mere opinions. But it doesn't stop there. True mastery lies in your ability to embrace diversity of thought, to welcome alternative perspectives with open arms. You're not afraid to challenge the status quo, to question the norms, and to explore the uncharted territories of possibility. In your quest for truth, you become a vigilant guardian against the pitfalls of faulty reasoning and hidden biases. Armed with analytical prowess, you navigate through the fog of ambiguity with confidence, always ready to shed light on the shadows of uncertainty. Embrace the journey of continuous learning, for it is the fuel that ignites the flames of progress. Embrace the discomfort of unanswered questions, for it is within this space that innovation thrives. With each decision you make, ask yourself, what are the implications? What are the consequences? So, fellow explorer of the mind, let us venture forth with courage and conviction. Let us harness the power of critical thinking and cognitive flexibility to shape a future filled with endless possibilities. Research has shown that creative breakthroughs often occur when we least expect them, when our minds are free to wander and explore uncharted territories. It's during these moments of mental freedom that our brains engage in unconscious processing, working tirelessly behind the scenes to unravel complex problems and unveil groundbreaking insights. The key to fostering creativity lies in striking a delicate balance between focused attention and unfettered exploration. While it's essential to devote time and energy to tasks at hand, it's equally crucial to release our grip on conscious thought and allow our minds to wander freely. It's in this delicate dance between conscious and non-conscious processing that true innovation thrives. So, as you embark on your journey of creative exploration, remember to embrace both the power of focused attention and the magic of uninhibited imagination. By harnessing the full potential of your mind, you'll unlock a world of endless possibilities and pave the way for transformative breakthroughs. To think differently and help others do the same, you need to be flexible in how you see things. This means being curious, open-minded, and aware. It's important to be interested in exploring new perspectives and willing to accept that what you think might not always be right. We all have our own biases and feelings, so it's essential to understand them and realize that they can influence our thoughts. As a leader, it's also crucial to be innovative and adaptable. This means being able to find solutions that go beyond the usual rules. While following rules is usually important, there are times when you need to think creatively and find new ways to solve problems. Techniques and tools, the Ben Franklin method, example. When trying to reach a decision, make a list of all the factors for a particular course of action and then make a list of all the factors against making a decision. Example 4. Against brainstorming. This is technique in which one or more people spontaneously contribute ideas. Use brainstorming when you want to generate as many ideas as possible. Affinity diagram. These diagrams help to organize information into themes or groups of ideas. You can put each piece of data on a card or post-it note and then organize your cards into labeled categories. Affinity diagrams are often used after a brainstorming session. Process diagram. These diagrams help show the steps of a process in order to see how things relate to one another in a bigger picture. You can also use these diagrams to trace the steps leading up to a problem or situation. Flow diagram. These diagrams help visualize steps and decision points so you can see relationships and implications suggested by your evidence. Cause and effect diagram. These diagrams help you to see the relationships between events or concepts. They use reasoning to explain what happened so that you can challenge your reasoning where necessary. Explorative matrix use a simple 4-cell matrix to by 2 to plot information along the axes such as low and high, value and effort, time and amount. Documented role play. In a documented role play, one person argues one side of an issue while someone else argues the opposing side. You document the two sides in a matrix or 2-column chart to help you see the pros and cons of both sides. Multi-voting. This technique is used to narrow down choices. Ask several members of a decision team to use a small number of votes. 3 is a reasonable number in most cases, and place a mark next to their top 3 choices. Uncritical thinking styles. Let's shed light on uncritical thinking styles that often lurk in the shadows of our minds, hindering our ability to navigate the complexities of the modern workplace. Take a moment to reflect on each style and its potential impact. Black and white thinking. This style traps us in a binary mindset, unable to see the nuances and shades of gray that exist in every situation. Remember, life rarely unfolds in absolutes. There's often a middle ground waiting to be discovered. Close-mindedness. When we shut ourselves off from new ideas and perspectives, we limit our potential for growth and innovation. Embrace the diversity of thought and remain open to new possibilities. Doctrinaire thinking, relying solely on received wisdom or authority, stifles creativity and independent thought. Challenge the status quo and dare to question outdated norms and practices. Emotional thinking. While emotions are a natural part of the human experience, allowing them to dictate our decisions can cloud our judgment. Strive for a balance between reason and emotion to make sound choices. Illogical thinking, baseless assumptions, and faulty reasoning can lead us astray, undermining the validity of our conclusions. Demand evidence and employ critical analysis to ensure the integrity of your arguments. Inflexibility, rigidity in thought hampers adaptability and resilience, leaving us vulnerable to change. Embrace flexibility and be willing to pivot when necessary to stay ahead in a rapidly evolving world. Routine thinking, falling into the trap of habitual patterns can blind us to new opportunities and insights. Challenge yourself to break free from the confines of routine and explore alternative approaches. Subjective thinking. Intuition has its place, but relying solely on gut feelings without empirical evidence can lead to misguided decisions. Strive for objectivity and seek out data-driven solutions. Wishful thinking. While optimism is admirable, it must be tempered with realism to avoid overlooking potential challenges. Face reality head-on and confront obstacles with a clear-eyed perspective. By recognizing and overcoming these uncritical thinking styles, we empower ourselves to approach problems with clarity, creativity, and resilience. Let's embrace the power of critical thinking to unlock new possibilities and drive meaningful change in the workplace and beyond. Investigate. Evaluate arguments and recognize bias. Investigate stage. In critical thinking, the investigate stage involves exploring and evaluating arguments, recognizing that new information can emerge at any time. While data collection is ongoing, critical thinking must lead to a decision. Purpose of argument. Arguments aim to persuade listeners to adopt a conclusion supported by reason and logic. Evaluating arguments for faulty reasoning is crucial in critical thinking. Bias in critical thinking. Bias distorts perception and influences problem analysis, solution selection, and implementation. Evaluating arguments for bias ensures decisions are based on valid evidence. Types of bias. Motivational bias, influenced by personal goals or needs, leading to decisions maximizing self-interest or seeking popular approval. Cognitive bias occurs when rational information processing methods are not followed, leading to errors like anchoring bias and framing bias. Faulty reasoning. Critical thinking involves avoiding faulty reasoning, such as insufficient support for arguments and misdirection through irrelevant topics or false dichotomies. The value of cognitive flexibility. Critical thinking helps analyze problems, but cognitive flexibility is crucial for finding solutions, especially in rapidly changing contexts. Utilizing conscious and unconscious processing, challenging traditional views, and inspiring creativity are essential for cognitive flexibility. How to be cognitively flexible: curiosity, openness, and awareness. Be open to new perspectives, acknowledge biases and emotions, and challenge preconceptions. Novelty and adaptability. Generate solutions beyond rule-based approaches and think creatively. Flexible approach. Identify what works, be willing to make changes, and adapt strategies accordingly. Learning from diverse viewpoints. Embrace diverse perspectives and sources to broaden understanding. Comfort with ambiguity. Accept uncertainty and be open to evolving situations. Act, using critical thinking to make a decision. In the act stage, build on previous work by considering the implications of the decision and planning implementation. Develop the skill of asking insightful questions to explore all angles of a problem and identify reasoning errors. Key critical thinking questions include examining evidence, considering alternative interpretations, assessing consequences, evaluating risks and benefits, planning execution, and learning from actions. Conclusion. After gathering data, analyzing information, and considering implications, make a decision and take action, effectively utilizing critical thinking to solve problems.